It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Dee Brun, Cocktail Diva on Twitter. Needs no introduction. I'll hug you now to get it over.
Am I working? Can you hear me now?
All right, strangers in my stream. Take it away.
Strangers in my stream. First of all, I want to say hi, everybody, and to the organizers, thanks for having me. Trisha, that's a lovely hat. I don't know how to follow a pole dancer and the guy who invented Twitter. That's a lot to live up to. Jeff Pulver, I know you're in here. I've never had the U.S. Air Force Army tweet me, but Paris Hilton did once. Just saying. All right, all right. I know what that's about. I was told a few rules. I have rules up here, and anyone who knows me knows I don't like rules. And to me, that is the beauty of Twitter. There are no rules. You make them up for yourself. You be who you want to be, and your voice is your own. Mine is Heidi Klum, who's married to George Clooney, who has Imelda Marcos shoe collection and drinks like Charlie Sheen. That's branding. I told I wasn't allowed to swear, and I had to keep it short. So I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it simple and G-rated, much like my ex-husband. Who's not on Twitter, by the way, so tweet that shit. Oh. That's not a bad word anymore anyway, is it? It's not, is it? And I can say ass, right? They say that on TV. So I'm here to talk about strangers in my stream. And there's a few people in the room that know the story. They might not know the full story, but the reason I decided to talk about this and not boo, shock and awe throughout the room, is because it's something that does happen on Twitter that's a little bit scary. You get stalkers and crazy-ass people. I'll have to say ass. I have to. And that's what happened to me. Recently this summer, I bought a brand new house, which means I had to sell a brand new old house. So I put my house up for sale because I was moving into my lovely new house, the Stella, named after my favorite bière, of course. And I began to sell it. The day the lady was coming to take the pictures, I got a call from my agent saying they wanted a showing. Sorry, camera guy, I walk around when I'm nervous. Keep up. So I said, sure, the house looks really pretty. I just had the pictures taken. I have 4 kids, a husband, and a dog. And I'm rarely sober. So it's a lot for me to get my house clean. So the people came, they saw, and they bought. They bought my house within 6 hours, before the pictures were even up on the internet, and they paid full asking price. Yeah. Oh, I did shit. Don't clap for that. But the trick was, it was too good to be true, right? That's a little bit too good to be true. And I kept saying, no, it was meant to be. I'm a glass half full kind of girl. I prefer it full. So everything went on, la-di-da-di-da, my house was moving, I was selling, all this kind of stuff. A week before my new house was closing, I had a week in between before my old house was closing. So I had a week to get everything ready and pretty and zhuzh it up. So a week before, my real estate agent calls and says, the people who bought your house want to come in and have a look. And I'm like, really? It's a mess. There's boxes everywhere, there's dust, there's empty vodka bottles on the floor. I really don't want people coming into my house right now. He goes, well, it's in the contract. The contract that they signed, may I remind you, sober, that said they wanted to buy my house. They signed off on the home inspection. Their real estate agent, we'll call him Gumby, just so that we don't, I don't know, who's the horse? Pokey, let's call him the horse. Let's call him Pokey's ass. The horse. Sorry. He never said anything about, certain things that they could ask for. So when they signed off on everything, again, too good to be true. Me? Meant to be. No problem. So they came, they saw, they left, then they emailed a list of 19 things they wanted done before they moved into my house in 6 days. Remember, I'm moving the next day. 4 kids, a dog, and a husband. Vodka bottles and lots of shoes. There are lots of things going on. So there was this list. It was a nasty list. It was a mean list, actually, that their real estate agent sent to my real estate agent, which in turn you have to send to me by law. And when he sent it to me and then walked next door, because he was my next door neighbor, and he knocked on my door and he goes, I'm sorry. And I said, what? And he goes, you haven't checked your email? I'm like, no, I'm on Twitter. Email, what's that? Did you tweet me? No. And so I checked it and I got this list. And I was pissed. That's not a bad word. I was so mad. Basically, this list was this woman, dog. Ooh. Google it. Who was basically telling me that my house was dirty. Well, no shit, I told you it was dirty before you came. But it was like she was calling me dirty, and I took it very personally. And all this stuff, like, there were so many nail holes in the wall. Well, yeah, I had pictures up there. What was keeping it up? Pixie dust? Well, they didn't hang pictures on their walls. They didn't do that. So I was like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with. Crazy. I can handle crazy. I know how to work with crazy. I was married a couple times. And I was angry, and there was another woman on Twitter. I don't know if she's here today, so I don't know if she wants me to say her name. Can I say her name? Grace, are you here? Grace Announce, are you here? Can I say your name? Oh, she's not here. She was moving at the same time, and she was having a real hard time. The buyers were stalking her house and stuff like that. So we had created this connection like you do on Twitter. I've met her in real life, but this kind of moving hell was the hashtag. And anytime we got upset or whatever, we'd hashtag it moving hell. When I got home, I'd see the hashtag, and I'd say, Grace, dude, what's wrong? You've got crazy people buying your house. I'm so lucky. Mine are great. So I get on Twitter. Bad idea. It's like texting or emailing after too much Pinot Noir. Not a good idea. And I was angry, and I got mad, and I started tweeting all this stuff. Hypothetical, funny, never mentioning the name of the people. And Grace and I kept tweeting back, ha, 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 yeah, that's hilarious. You got crazy people too. How do you like me now? Blah, blah, blah. I did not know that these strangers in my stream who bought my house were spying on me and saw all the tweets, which I remind you, because my lawyer told me to, I never mentioned their name. It was just, you know, conversation on Twitter. You do DH for darling husband, DD for darling daughter, things like that to keep it somewhat anonymous. But because my life is not anonymous and I am out in the public eye, they knew exactly who I was, exactly where I lived, things like that. And it was all because of Pokey's ass. Remember, he's the real estate agent? He was more concerned with Twitter and who I was and what I did than protecting his clients. So the next morning, my real estate agent walks over and tells me that they no longer want to buy my house, which they signed a contract for, I might add. But apparently in today's society, a contract doesn't mean poop. Doesn't mean anything. They can just walk away. And my lawyer said they can just walk away. And I went, what? That's asinine. They can't just walk away. And he said, yes, they can. And you can fight them, and you can sue them, and all those kind of things. So blah, 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 I get mad again, and I swear a whole lot, which I won't repeat now. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Everybody tried everything. They were bringing in some guru guy with smoke, and he was going to get the bad mojo out, because apparently I tweeted that I was going to leave bad mojo in the house. How do you leave bad mojo in the house? You leave a toilet bowl brush. You don't leave bad mojo. The hat. Okay, so what happened? I see I got the hat thing. I spent 2 hours of my life in the kitchen of the house that I spent 2 weeks cleaning and filling all the holes and getting rid of all the pixie dust and the bad mojo with two people that wanted and signed a contract to buy my house. And I had a 2-hour conversation and found out why they didn't want to buy my house. It had nothing to do with Twitter. Twitter was the callous for the excuse to do something and go somewhere. They didn't want to buy my house because the wife had a dream. A dream about Freddy Krueger being in my house. Twice she had the dream. Not once, but twice. And that's why she didn't want to buy my house. So I had to sit there for 2 hours and talk about how lovely the house was and how you could, yes, you can bury your placentas in the backyard of your children. That's fine. This is the house where you want to bury placentas. Buy my house. So basically, I could have lost my entire house deal. My husband would have killed me. over Twitter. So all I'm saying is remember that everything you tweet, there are strangers in your stream and they are watching. So make sure whatever you tweet, you would wear on a t-shirt, put on a billboard, because people are out there. They're watching. I'm watching. Thank you, everybody.
Dee. This is awesome. Thank you.